Greetings everybody, Michael Badger here at michaelbadgersworld.com. I am currently in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Here's a message to my hometown of Calgary. If you're going to build something and call it a tower, make sure you can see it 50 years later from every direction. That's the CN Tower. Hitched in here yesterday. I was, as you probably remember from my last video, it took me 15 seconds to get a ride that lasted 22 hours out of Vermilion Bay, Ontario. Literally drove with my driver from Vermilion Bay to a place called Orillia, which is just north of Toronto. Spent a couple of hours inside of a Tim Hortons there in Orillia, then hit the road trying to get to my cousin's place. Just wanted to get to Barrie because that's where the public transportation for Toronto starts. It took me 5.5 hours to catch a ride from Orillia to Barrie, which is about 20 minutes down the road. And I was actually just thinking of how absolutely terrifying something like this would be without the technology. I needed to pick up some cash. I needed to find a Royal Bank. And within 2 blocks of my cousin's house, I got completely lost. But fortunately, I was able to find it on Google Maps. Thank you, Google Maps, you're a lifesaver. And I'm heading over there now. So I have to contemplate the overuse of technology because I used Google Maps to try and find it. It gave me directions. I kept following the directions. And I wasn't paying attention to the numbers or the sign. That's what I was looking for. It took me about an extra 10 minutes to find it. So I know that a lot of this experiment that I'm doing is to prove that kindness exists around the world, because we get a little insulated kindness here in Canada, but I just had a very Canadian experience. At least I'd like to call it a very Canadian experience. I was taking money out from the ATM, grabbed it, realized there was a line behind me. I, of course, being Canadian, was like, oh, I can't have them wait while I safely put my money outside. I walked away about, not far, 10 feet, and the fellow behind me reminded me that I had actually left my card in there, so I could have just got robbed blind. But of course it didn't happen because this is Canada and there's no crime whatsoever. Ha 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 ha. One thing that has changed is many Canadians or many Americans would ask me when they saw me, because I was Canadian, they would ask me about poutine. Well, poutine was not that big of a deal when I left Canada 29, 30 some odd years ago. But now we actually have, or at least we have one, I hadn't heard the expression till now, but we have a poutinier. Which makes sense. If you have chocolate, you have chocolatiers. So of course if you have poutine, you have poutiniers. It's a poutinier. And they're playing AC/DC. I love it already. So there it is, grilled chicken, peppercorn, mushroom, poutine. Go figure. Let's have a bite, shall we? Mushroom. It's pretty awesome. Alright, be jealous. This is delicious and you're not eating it. So I just ate at a poutinerie. I said it was a poutinier, and it's actually a hard word to say. Poutinerie. They actually used to be a wienery, but they just changed themselves to a poutinerie. But I spoke to them and suggested poutinier, and they actually really liked the name. The manager thought it was a fantastic idea to say that they were poutiniers. So after eating the penultimate Canadian food, I decided that it's time to get the penultimate Canadian beverage, a Tim Hortons. Gotta have Tim Hortons everywhere you go. I'm gonna miss you, Tim Hortons, when I'm traveling the rest of the world. You only have locations in like Afghanistan and Manhattan and a few other places. So I'll miss you, Tim Hortons. Love you, Tim Hortons. Why can't I quit you? I'm looking around at Toronto and thinking, what a great city. Why was I so unhappy here 25 years ago? I think I probably would have been unhappy everywhere I was. Oh look, it's a Tim Hortons. What a goddamn surprise. So there it is, the place where I did a substantial amount of my drinking. I think I'll go inside and have a pop. So, Vancouver has the SkyTrain and Calgary has the LRT, but nothing beats the subway. I love everything about the subway. I love the way it looks. I love the dirt on the floor. I love the way it smells. I have loved everything about subways every time I've ever ridden a subway. I miss New York, really only for the subway, which is pretty weird. I love the subway. I absolutely love the subway. I don't understand why anybody else travels any other way. It's the nervous system of the city. And you're right there. And it's fantastic. I'm always overwhelmed wherever I'm on the subway. It's something I never got over living in New York City, just how much adrenaline I would get simply from sitting down on a subway and going for a ride. I'd ride the subways and the trains probably all day long. Maybe I should have been an engineer. I don't really understand me because they go traveling sometimes and they want to be around nature out in a goddamn city. I need to be in a city. I need to be in a big city. I need to be in a city all the time. People talk about how wonderful it is to live in a small town and everyone knows your name. I can't imagine living like that. I need to live like this. I need to pass two old men on the bench. I wonder what their story is. A whole lifetime of memories. I don't want to know everyone's story. I want to learn everyone's story. I never run from the rain. I don't know why. I've always loved it. It's just water. What's the worst thing that can happen?